Violent backstory of the most disrespectful dance. Naughty Bob.
TikTok's been going crazy recently with a new dance coming out of New York, which has been trending all over the app. But a lot of people don't even know that they're dancing to one of the most disrespectful dances to come out in a long time. Today, we are going into the violent backstory behind the dance called the Notti Box. So guys, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow. Really, literally, release the band Raid.
Damn!
Already, go check. Before we get into this, if you haven't already, go check out the song I'm talking about. I put the link to it in the description. But to start this story, we have to go to Harlem in New York. More specifically, a district inside Harlem called Sugar Hill. A place infamous for multiple reasons. But nowadays, it's known to be the area of a gang called the OUSMANE, or Original Youngins. A gang which has beef with a lot of Harlem gangs, and gangs from a neighbouring borough called the Bronx. Now unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know the Bronx drill music scene has been popping off lately, which I go into a bit more in one of my videos I posted up a few months back. And even despite Sugar Hill not being in the Bronx, the OUSMANE gang has been a big part of this, and even despite...
What Sugar Hill is this? Not Sugar Hill. It's like 3 roads in this shit. This is Manhattan, Harlem. The fuck? What Sugar Hill is this?
Sugar Hill not being in the Bronx.
Damn,
the OUSMANE gang has been a big part of this Bronx drill scene, with OI rappers like E.Baby and Sugar Hill Keem starting to hit some good views on their tracks. It wasn't long till other members of OI started hopping on tracks as well, including 2 brothers who went by the names Didi and Notti Osama. But these guys were different. They were kids. Notti was 14 and Didi was only 15 when they first started rapping, and they were really rapping some hot stuff on drill beats, throwing up gang signs and dissing dead ops despite being so young. But unfortunately, soon both their lives would change forever. On July 9th, Notti and Didi were walking with each other in Harlem until they separated around 3 PM. Didi went back to his block, but Notti alongside one of his friends were taking the subway to somewhere else. This was when Notti and his friend allegedly spotted a 15-year-old opposition to the OI gang. Notti and his friend was said to have cornered the 15-year-old on the platform, attacking him with a broomstick, with even some reports saying Notti and his friend even pushed the 15-year-old onto the train tracks at one point. But what Notti didn't know was that the 15-year-old was packed with a knife, and the altercation ended with the 15-year-old stabbing Notti, causing him to lose a lot of blood and collapsing inside the station. Notti was rushed to hospital, and his brother Didi got the call that Notti had been stabbed and went to go visit him in the hospital. But sadly, it wasn't long before Notti, a 14-year-old kid, was pronounced dead. New York was in shock. Notti's death was all over the news and internet. Main reason just to do with how young he was. But Notti's death was also a subject to a lot of disrespect by opposition gangs in the Bronx and Harlem. See, Notti's gang, the OIs, are one of the most hated gangs in Harlem and have a reputation for being quite disrespectful in their songs. Even Notti himself would diss dead ops in multiple songs he released before his death, which definitely led to him being disrespected so much. Opposition gangs even destroyed a mural which was made for him, and Notti was starting to be a name regularly dissed in Bronx drill tracks. But recently, this disrespect towards Notti's name was taken to a whole nother level when a Brooklyn drill group called 4-1 made a song called the Notti Box, literally making a dance move which mimics the way Notti Osama was stabbed to death. And the worst thing about the song is it's actually a hit. The track hit 1 million views in less than 3 days on YouTube and was even trending on the YouTube homepage. But a lot of people were kinda confused. Why is a Brooklyn drill group dissing a dead rapper from Harlem? Like, both areas where the 4-1 group is from and where Notti is from is more than an hour apart, so it would be kind of a stretch for them to both have problems on the streets. But before the 4-1 group brought out this Notti diss track, 4-1 and OI had a bit of bad history between each other. So 4-1 are a drill group from Brownsville in Brooklyn, an area which borders East Flatbush, the birthplace of the notorious Brooklyn rapper Bobby Shmurda's gang GS9. Brownsville is known in New York to be one of the most dangerous areas in the city, with one of the highest murder rates, drug-related incidents, and the lowest life expectancy in New York. But the 4-1 group kinda came out of nowhere. They really started gaining some traction this year, mainly due to one of their rappers called Kyle Rich, dropping some good consistent singles which were hitting millions of views. Kyle Rich also dropped a track with other 4-1 members back in January, and the song proved to be a breakout track for the Brownsville group, who literally came out of nowhere. But the fact they came out of nowhere also drove a few speculations towards the group. Just like most drill music coming out of New York, 4-1 were talking a lot of violence in their songs, and a lot of people were saying they weren't really about what they were rapping, and that the group is just a bunch of civilians who started to get together and start rapping. But despite all the rumors, they were becoming the biggest drill group in the Brooklyn drill scene. Now you're probably wondering how this new drill group in Brooklyn, who supposedly has no issues with anyone else, ever got into a feud with Notti Osama's gang, the OUSMANE. All of this kind of stems from a situation that happened a while back from two rappers of the OUSMANE gang called Blockwork and Sugar Hill Keem. Allegedly, both rappers were walking down Harlem when the opposition tried to pull up on them. That's when one man who police claim is Sugar Hill Keem lets off fire into the gang who's trying to pull up on them, while the other man who police claim is Blockwork hides behind a car. Now both Sugar Hill Keem and Blockwork got arrested for this, and
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's cap.
Opposition
I seen this. I seen what
tried to pull up
they try to say it was a Blackwood because the glasses and shit. I don't think this is.
on them. That's when one man who
It might be a separate incident.
claim is Sugar Hill Keem lets off fire into the gang who's trying to pull up on them, while the other man who police claim is Blockwork hides behind a car. Now both Sugar Hill Keem and Blockwork got arrested for this, and Sugar Hill Keem started claiming that Blockwork snitched on the case, but Blockwork also claimed that Sugar Hill Keem was dry snitching on him. But it seems that for whatever reason, the OUSMANE gang took Sugar Hill Keem's side on this, causing the whole OUSMANE gang and another gang linked to the OUSMANE called the OGs to turn on Blockwork, especially one OGs rapper called SHA-EK, who called out Blockwork multiple times. So now this is when the Brooklyn drill group 4-1 gets involved. Blockwork at the time was being managed by someone called Big KVH, the same person who manages the 4-1 group. So 4-1 and Blockwork started linking up, and as expected, the OUSMANE and OGs gang didn't like this new link up, and a lot of their rappers had a few things to say about this. Also, at the time, OGs rapper SHA-EK had a separate problem with Blockwork and 4-1's manager Big KVH. KVH used to actually be SHA-EK's manager until both of them ran into issues and split up. SHA-EK then went onto his Insta Live on March the 2nd, calling out 4-1's manager and also dissing 4-1. That's when 4-1 member Kyle Rich snapped back at SHA-EK, saying that his manager pretty much made him to what he is now, and also threw in that he's smoking on SHA-EK's dead father. After this, another 4-1 member called D Bills and former OUSMANE member Blockwork jumped on a track called OG's K, heavily dissing mainly SHA-EK and his gang. In this track, Blockwork pretty much says that he's repping 4-1 now, with the line "better run when I scream 4-1. SHA-EK responded to all of this in his song called New Ops. In this tune, he pretty much says why is 4-1 dissing him, when before they were asking for features, and he also calls 4-1 broke. Now this is when Notti Osama gets involved in this story.
4-1K, y'all jacking the snitches. Okay, y'all gonna get stitches. Call 'em out too when it's time for the mission. Spit to the A, trying to see who we click. You jack for one day, you lose your life. Bitch, I'm a demon and I throw a pipe. Nigga, smelly a bitch, you got pulled for a bite.
Less than a month after uploading this, sadly Notti was stabbed to death on the underground, and then the Notti Bop dance mocking his death was made by the 4-1 members. Now this Notti Bop dance stirred up a lot of drama for 4-1. A lot of people thought this was way too disrespectful, especially just due to how young Notti was when he died. This even caused issues inside the group. A rapper from the 4-1 group called Maya Kenzo posted to her Instagram saying that she's not messing with the Notti Bop and says she's staying in her own lane. 4-1 member Kyle Rich then posted up on his Instagram that Maya Kenzo is not a part of 4-1 anymore, and then Maya took 4-1 out of her Insta bio. Even surprisingly, former OUSMANE rapper Blockwork had a big issue with this as well. He took to Instagram pretty much stating that he's not taking any more talk on Notti's name.
That's me. That's me right there, man. Nah. You see why I be watermarking my shit?
That he's not taking any more talk on Notti's name, and followed up on another post saying that 4-1 are talking about Notti just for clout. It's kinda surprising that Blockwork was sticking up for Notti, considering that Notti literally made a track before he passed, saying he's not messing with 4-1 members because they're chilling with Blockwork. Blockwork and members of 4-1 go back and forth on socials.
Your block don't even jack you.
Sugar Hill what? They don't jack you.
After this, Blockwork even made a diss track directed towards 4-1 called 41K, dissing 4-1 members individually, while also dissing a whole lot of other people that had nothing to do with the situation. Notti's brother Didi Osama, alongside other members of OUSMANE, also made a track after Notti Bop was released called Notti Gang, dissing literally the whole of Harlem and the Bronx, who was all doing the Notti Bop at the time. I wanna know what everyone thinks of this song. Do people think 4-1 went too far with this one? And I want to know how everyone thinks this is gonna end. It's been your boy Kid Nerd, and peace out.
It's the same thing. I don't think it's too disrespectful for 14-year-old because 13-year-olds are getting dissed. Either way, I think it's a problem with like everybody that disses people that aren't in their age group or dissing the dead in general. I just think it's contagious now. But the only problem I got with Naughty Bop is people didn't see each other in real life. They were just talking on tracks, and then when he passed away, they was acting like, you feel me, they're the main ops, when in reality, y'all are an hour away from each other, so how can y'all be beefing? But modern day New York drill for you.